Hello and welcome to a guide for Garen. Garen is a top lane bruiser who is really beginner friendly and can be picked up and played by anyone. In this guide, I'll be teaching you his build, abilities, combos, and then I'll be giving you some tips and tricks. But before we get into the video, I just want to quickly say I'm going to be doing a giveaway at 100 subscribers. So subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that. There's going to be more than one winner and you can choose. It's going to be either skin or coaching giveaway. With that, let's get into the video. Garen's first skill allows him to immune slows for 0.5 seconds and also just gets rid of any slows that are currently on him. He also gains 30% movement speed for 3 seconds. And then his next attack deals extra damage and also silences the target for 1.5 seconds. So when a target is silenced, that means that they can't use their dash or blink or anything like that. So you can deal a little bit extra damage and then ult them to finish them off. This is also an auto attack reset. So if you use this ability right after your auto attack, you can auto attack again to deal maximum damage if you're already on the target. Garen's second ability reduces the damage he takes for 2 seconds. And then for the first second, he gains 60% tenacity and the damage is reduced by 60%. Whereas in the second, then the damage is reduced by 30%. This is really good for breaking out of different CCs. So if you're rooted or stunned or something like that, and you activate and you have the skill active or you activate the skill, you'll just get out of CC extremely quickly, and also it will reduce the damage you take greatly, especially from burst combos. So this is really great against assassins who have high burst or against champions with CC, and it's just an overall great ability to have. Next, you have his third skill, his spin to win. This is the skill that Garen is most known for. It allows him to spin for 3 seconds and deal physical damage every time he spins and hits the enemy. If you hit the edge of his ability, he'll deal extra damage. He'll deal critical damage and hit them for 125% of the damage. If you recast the skill, he'll stop spinning. It's also important to note that this skill only deals 60% damage to minions, so it'll be a little bit more effective on enemy champions. Lastly, Garen's ult is just a finishing move. It executes an enemy dealing true damage plus 20% of the target's missing health. So this is really great for killing and finishing off low enemies, as it deals more damage when the enemy is low. Also, this attack damages nearby enemies to take 50% of what the original target took. This is a great finishing move and deals an immense amount of damage. Also, as soon as the animation starts, your opponent cannot flash out of this move. Garen's first combo is first against melee champions. He unlocks it at level 2. First, he auto attacks his enemy, then he resets it using his first skill, auto attacks again. After that, he uses his third skill to damage the enemy while they're silenced, and then follows up with one more auto attack. Garen's first all-in combo, which he unlocks at level 6, is using his first skill as a gap closer, hitting them to silence them. After that, using his third skill, following up with an auto attack and then an ult to finish off the enemy. And at full speed, it will look something like this. Yeah, so that's his level 6 all-in combo. Garen's next combo that he wants to use when he knows that the enemies are low and all he needs is a little bit more damage to finish them off. The combo that he wants to use is using his first skill to close the distance, attacking them to silence them, after immediately ulting, and then that should finish off your enemy. At full speed, it should look something like this. Lastly, Garen's combo that he wants to use for maximum damage is first auto attacking, resetting his auto, and then after that using his third skill, and then auto attacking, then ulting to finish off the enemy. And this is used when the enemy is really close to you, or let's say you're hiding in a bush and the enemy face checks you, enemy comes and face checks you, and you're right next to them. You can auto silence them, use your third skill, auto, and then ult them to finish them off. So yeah, that's Garen's combos. Okay, now we are gonna go into the build for Garen. For his first item, you want to be taking Black Cleaver most of the time. This item is amazing against most of the top lane bruisers that you're going to be up against in the top lane. So this does armor shred, as well as gives you some AD and max health, as well as ability haste. It's a great all-around item to help you survive the early game. The other item you can get instead of Black Cleaver is Trinity Force. Trinity Force is also a great item, and it gives you well-rounded attack damage, cooldown reduction, attack speed, and all the things you want with Garen. However, against more tanky team comps, you want to go Black Cleaver. After that, you can go for Ghost Blade. This will give you more attack damage as well as some ability haste. It also gives you armor penetration and gives you movement speed, so you can roam to help mid lane or roam to help your teammates out. Next, we want to get Teleport. Now, the Teleport enchant just got buffed. Its cost got reduced drastically, and now it's a really viable option for every single top laner. And even if you don't play top, you play support or something, Teleport is a great enchant to buy right now. But below Teleport, you want to buy Merc Treads if the enemy team has lots of AP and crowd control, or Ninja Tabby if their team comp is mostly AD. If you don't know what these things mean, what these terms mean, and you don't know how I'm getting these builds and how I'm how to itemize correctly, then you should probably watch my itemization guide, in where I go over all of these things in depth and how to build for your champ specifically, and situational items and all those things. I go in depth in my itemization guide. There should be a card on screen right now if you want to check that out. Anyways, if they're an even split with AD and AP, you can take Vamp Boots for the extra sustain, or Boots of Swiftness to catch your enemies, or Boots of Lucidity for cooldown reduction, but I would recommend one of these two. Next, after your boots. Oh, also, instead of Teleport, which I would recommend 90% of your games, you can also get Glory, because this has a shorter cooldown and you can chase down enemies a lot quicker. Next, after that, you want to take a situational item. Now, if your team needs more engage and more tankiness, you can swap this out for an item like Spirit Visage if they have AP. However, if they just have AD, Guardian Angel is a great choice with Garen. If you're laning against Yasuo or someone like that who relies on crits to deal their damage, Randuin's Omen is an absolutely OP item against them, so always consider this. Next, after that, you can take Death Stance for the max health attack damage and for the physical vamp, and it's a great item that you can get a little bit later on into the game. After that, you can get Sterak's Gauge, which gives you lots of max health as well as increased base attack damage. Okay, so for Garen's first rune, you want to take Conqueror because it synergizes really well with his kit and is just probably the only rune that's pretty viable with him at the moment. Next, you want to be taking Triumph, which gives you extra health for each takedown, which means you can kill multiple people in a row. It also allows you to deal extra damage to players who are lower on health. After that, you want to take Spirit Walker for the extra max health and tenacity so that you can't get slowed. After that, you want to be taking, for your last rune, you want to be taking Hunter Genius if you want to snowball, Mastermind if you want to play around objectives and deal more damage to turrets and objectives, or lastly, you can do Pathfinder if you want to roam around the map more. So this is up to you. Next, for Garen's spells, you want to be taking Flash. For every game because it's utilized in his combos and his versatility. It allows him to engage as well as disengage and makes his kit more useful in different situations. After that, you can be taking, for your second spell, Ignite if the enemy has lots of healing or Vamp. So you want to be taking Ignite when those two conditions are met. If not, you can take you can be taking Ghost to help your engage, or Barrier to help your sustain when frontlining. Also, you can also take Exhaust to catch up enemies or slow key enemies so that your team can collapse on them. Okay, so some tips and tricks I have for Garen is number 1, using his auto attack reset to take turrets faster. So if you're split pushing and you're taking a turret with your team or you're taking objectives or something, remember to reset using your skill 1 to reset your auto and then deal the maximum amount of damage that you can. My second tip for you is to abuse his level 2 power spike. Now Garen power spikes at level 2 and is extremely strong. He's one of the strongest champs at level 2. So as soon as you hit it, be sure to trade with your opponent. Make sure to just chunk them as hard as you can if they don't respect your power spike, because a lot of people make that mistake. Because Black Cleaver synergizes so well with Garen, you can use your third skill on the front line of the enemy team and the armor will just be shredded. The armor shred that you get from Black Cleaver will just allow your ADCs or whoever you have on your team just to be able to take down those champions much faster because the armor reduction from Black Cleaver. That's it for the tips and tricks. I really hope that you enjoyed this guide. This guide was made especially for Blitz, who got a Garen skin in his skin chest and wanted a tutorial on him. If you want a tutorial for a champ that you play, then leave it down in the comment section and I will be putting that out for you. Also, you can comment down below which skin, if you made it this far, which skin did you get inside your random skin chest? I'm just pretty curious. Oh, also, some of the gameplay comes from Wada Games channel, so if you want to check some Garen gameplay out, then there's some links in the description below. But with that, the video is over, and if you enjoyed and made it this far, please leave a like on the video because it helps out a lot, and subscribe to the channel if you like seeing this kind of content. With that, I will be seeing you soon. Bye!